Alrighty, nice to meet you.
I'm Jana. Nice to meet
Okay,
you.
and who's your sweetie pie?
This is Minty or Mint Julep.
Oh, beautiful name. Okay, and how old is she?
She's 22 to 25, I'm guessing.
And how long have you had her?
About 3 months.
Oh wow, so it's kind of new. Okay. All right, so I asked her about what she wanted to show me first, and she said, I like the name Minty. Is that a name that you gave her, or that's the name she came with?
She came with that name before. I got her from a polo group just down here, and they had her for about 2 years. Before that, she was known as Flower Pot.
Oh, God. Okay, well, she likes Minty or Mint Julep. She's okay with that. She said, I'm still active at my age. I like to get out and do things.
Yes.
And for me to stand around, not so much.
Yes.
Not into that at all. I asked her about the polo, and she goes, well, some of those people didn't quite know what they were doing. I'm just saying.
And they
She's like,
didn't.
I had to hold them up.
Yeah, she was a lesson horse for a lot of them. So
okay, that's why.
they would put like the 5-year-olds, the 8-year-olds, the kids that just didn't know anything.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Because she's just like, I was a babysitter. So I asked her about her Western saddle. She said it's comfortable.
Okay, good.
And she likes wearing all the boots. They see that as decoration, clueless it means anything. But she said, you know, if Santa wants to bring me a set of green ones from Mint Julep, that would be okay.
She has green, she has pink, and she has black.
Well, a girl likes to have options. Okay. She said, well, I like the green ones.
Okay,
so,
good.
And this
We
is
like
very
the green
lovely. She loves this. She said, if it's up to you, she's okay wearing it at your mouth, but she doesn't think she has to, but it's really what your comfort level is. I would say that to people. Because she's like, look, all you have to do is think, and I go left or right kind of thing.
Yep.
She said she's had 2 times of colic, which I'm like knocking the wall about.
Yep, I know of one. So
she's got a lot of scar tissue. I'm not a vet. I was a vet tech for years, just to kind of give you an idea what to do. So I'm sure you're doing a sand clear or something like that.
we do that once a month.
Perfect.
So she, when I first got her, she looked like she was carrying twins.
Oh, wow.
And about after a week of sand clear, she is looking like she is now.
Yeah, doing better. At least she rebounds pretty quickly.
Yeah.
What I like also about for you is a lot of horses of color, Appaloosas or Pains, sometimes they have a big chip on their shoulder. She doesn't. She's very confident in who she is, but she's like, I'm willing to work with you. Where some of them are like, oh, what do you want me to do? And I'll get back to you and take a message kind of thing.
Yep, the only thing that we have a problem with that is when we first saddle her up, and I know it's from polo and her belly being upset, they tighten the cinch and she's just like, she'll come in and she has no problems coming back at you, biting you.
Okay.
So
Well, I'll show you how to clear that. She doesn't feel like she has an ulcer now, but it feels like she might need some probiotics unless you're doing that already. Are you giving her some kind of yogurt for horses like Forco or probiotics?
we have, but we can definitely do that. We do, right now we do an arthritis medication and a ration balancer just to at least get some of those extra nutrients
Good.
in her.
Okay. I think that would help. Okay, so because I asked her about when you put the saddle on, and she's like, "Oh, it's you." But like you said, all of that repetition. She's like, "Well," she said there was one guy that just like, did one of those kind of things.
And that's what they do in polo because they gotta do it in about 30 seconds, hop on and go.
Exactly. So I asked her what position she was in, and she goes, "I was good at all of them."
Yes.
Like some of them are in the back. She goes, "Oh no, I'm very well rounded. I can do it all." So she's hoping that Santa's going to bring her, a stocking. And she said, "I won't do the antlers, but I'll wear the hat. I'm okay with that." And she said she has a boyfriend now, where she's over at the other place. And she
Sherman.
said, "Yeah, he's very nice," and he's like, "How you doing?" kind of thing, And she said, we just keep company. We just have coffee. And I said, "Okay, all right."
She just squeals at him and teases him and then walks by.
Walks away. Like, just watch the rear view. Okay. All right. So I was asking her if there was any other worries. She said she's stiff in her neck on this side, that kind of thing.
Makes sense.
And also she kind of is offloaded on that left front foot. So they have 2 little bones on either side of their ears like we do. It's called the TMJ joint. And so after they get their teeth done, or sometimes they'll actually pop that bone out a little bit. So it's kind of like you get your tires rotated and then you don't get your front end aligned. What it does is it goes directly down to that corresponding leg. So she said sometimes she'll walk on the outside edge of that foot, so I don't know if your farrier mentioned that.
And that's what Jorge said. So, and that's why she got special shoes this last time. In polo they put on a shoe too small, and they kind of compact the foot. So now he actually comes
to kind of get her to
spread out a little bit and even the weight out.
And she likes him. She really likes him a lot. She said he was so kind. She said, I've had a couple of these dudes, they're busy. They just kind of whack them on there, or they have a hot shoe or something like that. So.
And he made Blanca do her feet in the back because she just can't lift them up that high. And Blanca will stay nice and low, where other people just crank it up and
absolutely, So she said, okay. she said she'd like to have a beer with you. So whether you drink or not, she said I can have my half. She likes all her fruit cut up. She said I had a banana once. That was kind of good. I said okay. She said some little girl gave her ice cream. She goes, that was kind of interesting. And Skittles. She's had little Skittles candies. Okay. So I said, well, tell me about this relationship. And she's like, oh, you're very kind, and you ask her things. She really likes that. But one of the things I do at home is I have a balance ball, and so I can, because I get very stiff because I sit in one hip on the other, that kind of thing. So do you have something like that at home where you can kind of, because she said sometimes she feels like you're uncomfortable, and she doesn't understand why, because you're, so great at what you do. So that might help because we all get in habits. You're young, but at some point it'll happen. So that will help her. But she said we're just so comfortable with each other. She's like, I love that. I love that. Okay, so when you go to put your saddle on, which we're not going to have to do now, but there's an acupressure line for the vagus nerve and vein that sits here. This is where your vet takes blood. So you put your one hand here to hold and kind of calm them down. And then before you ever put the saddle on, you go to where the saddle is and start doing very small circles on your earth line. And you kind of work your way around and do very small circles. And as long as you're holding here, she probably won't turn around and stop it because you're calming her. And you may get a couple of times where she's like, and then relaxes her breath. And then you go to the other side and do the same thing, and then see if she's better about when you go to put the saddle on, because it is such a habit. And this is a respiratory acupressure point. In fact, both of these are, and also where we put the girth is a respiratory acupressure. So it's not unusual that an animal should hold their breath.
Right.
That kind of thing.
And we're really lucky because Kelsey rides her, and then there's one other guy who comes out, Rob. He hasn't come out recently, but he's great with her too, because what he'll do is he'll just tie her up, brush her out, saddle pad on, take it off.
Good.
Put it on.
Approach and retreat. Good. Perfect.
And just, he's really good at working with her on that too. So she's got a lot of people in her life that care about her.
It takes a village.
It does.
So I asked about Kelsey, and she goes, oh, she's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
She said, we kind of galloped around a little bit one day. It was like, woohoo, we threw the dust up. It was great. We like that. So I love the fact that at her age, she feels very vibrant. And even though she has a lot of miles on her odometer, she's enjoying her life. She could have easily said she wanted to be retired, but she's like, oh, I'd be bored out of my mind. Are you kidding? So.
Well, and kind of her options when they retired from polo was either to come home with me and kind of have this life, or there was a lesson program, and we just kind of felt that she would prefer like one or two people. She was kind of done being a lesson horse.
It's like I served my time.
Exactly.
Yeah. I served my time.
The other thing, just because of her age, and I want to be polite to her, is just making sure that I'm not too heavy for her, or...
Well, a lot of people worry about that.
Yeah.
I usually have horses that complain about people being off balance, so that's kind of why I think just do it. And I usually have pole horses that say people that are a size 0 don't ride very well.
Yeah.
They may be light, but they're not balanced.
Right.
So, of course, we worry the most, but it's really, she's got a good back. I'm sure you're doing the stomach lifts with her, that kind of thing. And just, like I said, I have to remind myself to kind of really stretch and all that kind of stuff, because we forget.
Yeah.
And in fact, the reason I went to a chiropractor years ago was my first horse ratted me out. Like, you need to go look at like, he's like, geez, lady, get off my, that kind of thing. So I think that would really help a lot. Just keep me more flexible. So, yeah. She's like, I'm her back actually feels pretty good.
Oh, good.
I think it's all those years of just having all that physical therapy.
Yeah.
Somebody agrees with me. So.
And I think it's good that she just we try and keep her active.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, because she doesn't have a lot of arthritis. So, and she just said to me, well, my horse mom, she thinks lived to be pretty old. So she thinks like, well, I have good genes.
Yeah.
Yes. And she's like, not these genes. I said, I got them.
Yeah.
So she's got a little bit of a dry sense of humor.
Yes.
And then she just said to me, this is the longest I've ever stood in one place.
Yeah, sure.
I like to get moving, honey, So I said, well, you're being very patient with us. Okay, let's see, anything else that you can think of that you would like to ask?
The one thing that we have kind of battled, and the reason why she was retired is because she was tripping.
Oh, wow. I think a lot of that's coming from these.
The feet. So.
Have a good chiropractor, check those for you. And anytime you have a dental done, you really should have a chiropractor come out afterwards. And it's never this big, like, wow, you're so out, unless they're really tripping a lot. And certainly I say to people, have your vet check that first. But she's got some simple changes. They're minor, though.
Yep.
And with the crutch shoeing and just the exercise and being aware of that now, that's going to help.
Yep.
So, yeah. And she also just said a lot of it had to do is when they had her in those smaller shoes.
Oh, I'm
You
sure.
know, if we've ever like walked around in smaller shoes, you don't walk
Well,
correctly.
And that's what Jorge said. They
Yes,
pretty
of
much
course.
bind at her feet.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So life's pretty good for her.
Good.
Oh, she said she wouldn't mind pushing cows. There was a place you could. She's like, not team penny, but move them.
Yes.
And she wanted to know if she could go to the beach, which we used to go to the beach in San Diego. She goes, I'd love to do that. So we did. And I think she'd love to go horse camping too, but we call it glamping.
Yes.
You know, we have the corral and the motorhome. We don't sleep in the dirt. We don't tie the horse in the trailer, which a lot of people do. But she's like, I don't want that. I want a corral.
You have to go up to Kathy's and then she can push
Okay,
cows.
there you go. That'd be fun. Yeah.
Camp
up
out there. And
That'd be great. And they have great trails up there. So. Well, good. Well, they don't know their future, but she feels very good, and she certainly loves you at that lot. Very happy with everything. So that's awesome.
we try and take care of her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think you're doing a great job. Okay. Well, thanks for talking with us. It was lovely meeting you. She goes, well, I'm so relaxed. Maybe I'll just take a little nap.
I know. She's like, okay, now good.
Okay.